today we're going to upgrade this standard 15.6 inch laptop, which has got a normal hard disk drive of 1 terabyte, and we're going to add an SSD like this. But instead of replacing the drive, I'm actually going to add this as a secondary drive to put the Windows on there. And we're going to do this by first removing the dummy DVD drive tray, and we're going to get ourselves one of these hard drive caddy for laptops, which is going to stick our SSD in there. And after I show you how to remove the back cover, we are going to be inserting this. We're going to install our Windows operating system on this new SSD and leave this one as is and convert it into a storage. Coming up, roll the intro. Hey name tags and welcome. This is Ash from Heal My Tech, helping you go from newbie to techie. If you're new here on this channel with the reviews, repairs and tutorials of tech, so consider subscribing, enable the bell icon notification, and everyone smash that like button for more videos like this one. I've mentioned before in previous tutorials that you should never ever use a normal laptop with a normal hard disk drive anymore. It is far too slow, and the best thing to do is to get a laptop with an SSD to improve performance altogether. And SSDs are coming quite cheap these days. There are Amazon affiliate links for all the products I'm going to mention today. You don't have to buy the exact products, but if you click on the link and buy something on Amazon, I'll get a small kickback. It doesn't cost you anything extra. Thanks for supporting the channel. So this SSD, this is a 240 gigabyte size from SanDisk, and I think it costs just about £30. They're getting quite cheaper by the day, so there's no excuse for you to be using a normal mechanical hard drive anymore. Okay, so this laptop is the Lenovo Ideapad 15 AST. It's very basic, and once we go in there, I'm going to give you some of the specs. So first of all, that the back cover, it comes off really easy, and you can see there are screw holes all around. So all you need to do is remove the screws with the standard small size Phillips screwdriver and keep the screws very carefully somewhere. They're not different size, so you're not going to have any problem putting them back, hopefully. Okay, now once you've done that, you can remove this screw here. Retains the dummy DVD drive tray. You can remove that, put this to the side, and now you're going to want to go around the edges and maybe use a spudger very carefully and just kind of pop the tray up. Once you do that, the tray should pop off very easily, the back cover I mean, sorry, and put this to the side. Now kudos to the new laptop designs, and it's a lot easier to open these days with one main back cover, just like the MacBooks are usually, but the MacBooks are more difficult to open, sometimes requiring different tools. Now this is a very basic laptop, guys. It has one slot for 4 GB DDR4 RAM, and we can't add any more, so this is maxed out already, which is why it's not a very good purchase. I think about £380 normal price right now on Amazon is $327, I guess, on offer. But even at that price, I would not advise you to get this kind of laptop. The client, he got it for really cheap, I think for less than £100, probably £70, £80, I don't even know, but it was a good deal for him. But I wouldn't advise you to buy this on a normal budget. Now if you do have a similar laptop with one hard disk drive and very limited amount of RAM, now the best upgrade to do would be to get an SSD, and this is what we're going to do. Now in terms of the DVD drive, most people don't use them anymore, so you can remove them even if you have one. This one was a dummy, but you can remove them, and if you ever need a DVD drive, you can get an external one from eBay. They're probably quite cheap, between £15, £20, I'm not sure. Put some links below. So this drive caddy for laptops is a generic one. It is not the same as this one, which has got an added piece here to put the screw to hold it together. So initially I was going to remove this drive and put it in there, place it here, and put the SSD in here, but in retrospective I'm not going to do this. I am going to put the SSD in the converter one, and I'm going to leave that. All I'm going to do afterwards is swap the boot order, okay, because this is a lot lighter, and because it hasn't got any other type of screws to maintain it, I may just use something like double-sided tape. But once we put it in and click it in there and put the back cover, it should hold, shouldn't be a major issue. The only other issue is this is not proprietary. This drive caddy, it's not proprietary, and we've got like a round semicircular edge here, but this one is square, so it will look slightly off on the side. if it's not a major issue for you, go for it. If not, I'm pretty sure you can get something to cover that, or you can get more proprietary ones. But the client who got this one paid about £20 for this. As long as it works, he doesn't care. So you can find different makes and models, and if you want to contact Lenovo yourself to get one which fits perfectly with the design and everything. Okay, so what I'm going to suggest you to do is you should, if you can, I would advise you to also remove the battery which is connected here. It is much safer. Today I'm not going to do this because I'm not really manipulating anything on the motherboard. I'm just going to slide something in there, but for precaution, you should, if you can, without damaging it, remove this little connector and then discharge the static electricity and then proceed. Okay, right. So in terms of connecting the drive, not much. You're just going to have to get your SSD, remove the cover, and slide it in there. There's a connector there for the SATA power and drive, and there's a converter because this is not standard SATA, this is smaller. This is like a mini design, and we're going to plug it in there, and that should be it. Now this doesn't fit snug, that's why I said I may use double-sided tape later. And then obviously you want to screw it down with some of these screws which is provided in the DVD Caddy hard drive for laptops. Alright, so I'll see you in a bit. Okay, now that I've screwed in the SSD to the drive Caddy, to minimize problems and confusion which drive you're going to install to, I would sincerely advise that you remove the original disk drive. In this case, this is the hard disk drive, which I'm going to completely disconnect. Okay. You can potentially leave it in there, but it will take some understanding of partitions and drive numbers and letters when you install. It will get complicated. You're going to end up with two different windows on there, and it might be a bit dodgy for the absolute beginners. So to make it simple, just completely disconnect that, and we are going to do that. We're going to use a new Windows disk installation, fresh installation, which you can find online how to do even from Microsoft's own website, and which is going to install a fresh Windows on there. Because it's digitally signed, it should be no problem, unless this is HP's own key. Sometimes can cause an issue, but I'm hoping it should be fine. So after we do this, and I'm going to make sure the Windows license is activated, then we're going to plug this back in and we're going to wipe it off completely to turn this into a storage drive. I'll do this after that. So let's put the cover back for now and turn it around. And if you need to plug in, that's up to you, but my battery is charged right now, so we're going to use the installation disk. Now we're going to turn it on. If you know how to get onto your boot drive by clicking one of these buttons, do so. I don't remember, so I'm going to go into BIOS and just kind of change the boot drive around to make sure the USB is the first thing that we're going to boot into. Okay, right, and go right to the boot order, and I think I can find that at the moment the SanDisk is the first to boot because I changed it earlier, but I don't want that. I want the USB to be the first boot drive right now just to install it. So I'm going to change this with F6 and save that. F10, we save it, we exit, and hopefully I'm going to boot into the installation disk. Let me just lay that down for you guys to see. Alright, so we've got the login screen for the Windows installation. I do want English and United Kingdom and all this malarkey. Click on next, and we want to install now. And just need to go through the motion, select the disk, and I'm sure you know how to do this, so we'll skip this step. Accept the license, click on next, and you want to do a custom install Windows only. It's not an upgrade, and it's only one drive in right now because we removed the other one, so that's fine. It's unallocated at the moment, so you can just press on next. It's gonna automatically do a partition and format it, and now we just wait for Windows to complete its installation. So Windows has finished installing, and I've just checked, and it's actually activated because it's digitally signed, so all is hunky-dory. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to off the computer, okay, and we are going to take the original normal hard drive, put it back in there, load into Windows again into the SSD, and then wipe this, reformat this as a storage. Okay, and then just remove the back cover, and we're going to take our original drive and straight plug it back in there. It's quite easily done. And voila, Bob's your uncle. And I'm going to put that back. And we're going to restart the laptop. But this time, I'm going to make sure first that I log into BIOS or UEFI. And I'm going to make sure that the boot order selects my SSD as the first priority. Alright, so let's go into boot, and it's got Windows Boot Manager, but I'm gonna select number 3 and put that up with F6 as the SanDisk, because I'm not sure right now whether the Windows Boot Manager is on the normal hard drive or the SSD. So I'm hoping this should be fine. So now I'm going to F10, save and exit and reboot. Okay, now we've rebooted. I'm pretty sure this is the new SSD, but we're going to make sure. So we're going to go into, right click on start button and go to disk management. I'm going to make that big, and here we can see that there are two disks, disk 0 and disk 1. Now disk 0 is the 1 terabyte, this is the original one, and disk 1 is my current SSD. So I am now going to completely wipe this off. Now do bear in mind, once you do this, you won't be able to easily restore anything, and it's going to go. For our purpose, we are completely wiping the whole original drive off. So if you had any footage on there, any personal files, you might want to recover them or back them up before you do this. Okay guys, so now I'm going to show you how to delete the drive or the partitions on the drive. My previous footage for the laptop unfortunately came out blurry, and I don't want you to miss out on the details. So we're going to go onto my computer, which you can see on your screen right now, and simulate the same thing. If you want to know how to get into disk management, it's right click and go to disk management. There's a few ways that you can actually wipe the whole drive. There are 3 ways, and if you want more tutorial on this, do let me know in the comments below and I'll do more. But because I'm already logged into this Windows, I'm going to show you one of the ways. The other 2 ways is going to be using the Windows 10 installation disk when you are installing the Windows in the first place, but you have to boot back into the disk to be able to delete the partitions in the drive. The second way would be to use a third-party application, and the third way is going to be with the command prompt, which we are going to do right now. Now in the previous one we had disk 0, which was our original drive, and we had disk 1, which was our new drive, the SSD. So pretend we're going to work with disk 0, okay, and then disk 7 here, just as an example. In the same thing with disk 0, there we had 4 partitions. Okay, now you're going to notice there's a quick way to delete a partition. If you just right click on something and you select a partition, for example this one, if you select it and just go delete volume, right click delete volume, it's going to delete no problem. Okay, and it's going to become an unallocated. You have to reformat it. However, for some partitions, depending on the type of partitions, there could be things like UEFI partition or recovery or whatever else, it will be grayed out. I'll give you an example here, the system reserved here. If I right click, and you're going to see that the delete volume is grayed out, you cannot delete it like this. So we're going to go into command prompt. So remember, we're going to be dealing with disk 0 and disk 1 in our old laptop, but here we're going to be dealing with disk 7 for the example. Okay, so disk 7 right now has 2 partitions. The third one I just deleted and I showed you how to do this. Okay, so let's go into command prompt. You can go into right click and either go into Windows PowerShell. You're going to need admin privilege for this, or you can type in CMD into your search bar. All right, but if you do this, obviously you're going to need a command prompt for admin privilege, or you can always do disk part. It's going to ask you to do the administration privilege, which is fine. All right, so once you're here, what you need to do first is to go into list disk, and we've got 8 disk numbers 0 to 7. We want to delete disk 7. Okay, now because disk 7 has 2 partitions right now and we're pretending they're grayed out, we can't delete them from this management. So here we're going to first select a disk 7. select disk 7. Okay, disk 7 is now the selected disk. Now I'm going to list partition, and in our partition, if you remember, we only had 2 partitions left. The third one was deleted. So now I'm going to select partition 1. Partition 1 is now the selected partition, and now I'm going to delete that partition by typing in delete partition override. Press enter, and this part successfully deleted the selected partition. Cool. We can double check this. Let's go back into our disk management. If you want to know how to get into disk management, it's right click and go to disk management. And remember, we had 2 partitions and then deleted 1 in disk 7. Now we only have, there you go, this one is deleted, this one is deleted, we only got 1 left. So now let's do the last one. We're going to select partition 2, so you can press the up arrow key and just change the number 1 to number 2, and now again press the arrow key, and we're going to delete partition override, and this part successfully deleted the selected partition. Let's go check our disk management, which is this one, and as you can see now, the whole of the partitions in disk 7 has been deleted, and this is how you do it. And now obviously for the last bit, what you want to do is format your deleted drive for a storage drive. You can create more partitions if you want, or keep it simple. I'm just going to show you how to keep it simple. So go to right click, new simple volume, and go to next, and go to next, and go to next. If you want to change the drive letter, that's up to you. I'm going to call this M for Mauritius, for example, and I'm going to click next, and I want to call this MTIUS, Mauritius storage, but you may want to call it S for storage. It's up to you, and perform a quick format. Click on next and finish. And as you can see now, this new drive is now formatted and ready to go. And if you want to go into your file explorer to check, now in my case right now, this is my new drive, which is the storage. Okay, now previous case, I think I named it D for storage. And voila, now disk 0 is storage D, almost 1 terabyte of formatting. You can even go into your file explorer at this stage. There you go, you got your local disk C, and then your storage, which is completely empty at this stage. And that's it. So I hope this was helpful for you, and I'm sorry if it was a bit complicated towards the last bit, but that's the way I would do things. As usual, if you have any questions or comments, let me know in the section below, and consider subscribing if you've not done so yet. Enable the bell icon notification, and don't forget to use my Amazon affiliate links. This was Ash from My Tech, helping you go from newbie to techie. Until next time, peace out.